How to graph two inequalities in slope-intercept form. So the first big step is to graph each inequality separately. So I'm going to go ahead and graph it. Okay, so it's already in slope-intercept form, so it's very simple. I first find the y-intercept here. That's -4. So that's this point right here, right? Then I look at the slope. That's -6, 4. So that's going to be 6 to the right, 7 down. There's my second point. Then I draw my line. Notice I made it dashed. I made it dashed because this inequality symbol here is only greater than. It's not greater than equal to. If it had the line underneath, it'd be greater than equal to, and then you would make this solid. Okay, so whenever you have an inequality, you have to graph it, and there's a line underneath, you make it solid. No line underneath, not solid. So now I'm going to my next one. Y-intercept is -1, so there's my first point. The slope is 7/3, so I'm going to go over 3, up 7. Here we go, then I connect them. Once again, it's dashed because there is no line underneath. Okay, so there we go. I got my two inequality lines there. Now, I need to shade each graph. Okay, so remember, this inequality here is for this line. Okay, and now this is greater than. Greater than means you shade above. Less than means you shade below. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shade it. All right, there we go. So I shaded it. Now, if you don't believe me or you don't like that method, what you can also do is you can pick a point that is obviously on one side of the line. Okay, I like to always try the origin, which is 0, 0, because substituting 0 is really simple. So 0, 0, put a 0 for y and a 0 for x. Okay, now remember, 0 times anything is 0. So this just becomes y, or 0, is greater than -4. Is 0 greater than -4? Yes. So that means this point here is true, which means this whole region should hold true too. So I did shade the right region. If that happened to be false, if you picked that point and it's false, that means you shade the other side of the line. Okay? Then I would have shaded here. Alright, so now I'm going to shade the second one. Now the second one's a little tricky. Okay? It's also greater than, but for some people it's hard to see. Is this the greater than side or that the greater than side, right? So what you can do is do the point thingy again. Substitute the point. So 0, 0 is kind of really close to the line, so it's not as obvious. Okay? So I'm going to pick another point. I'm going to pick 3, 0, which is right here, right? That's obviously on this side of the blue line. So we know it's going to be over here. Okay, so here we go. Let's try this out. So 3, 0. So that means x is the 3 and y is 0. So 0 right here. I put a 3 right here. That would be what? 7/3 times 3. So that cancels away this 3. So that just becomes 7 minus 1. 7 minus 1 is 6. So that means 0 is greater than 6. And that's not true. That's false. Right? So that means since this is false, that means I shade this side of the line, right? And then once you're done shading both regions, the solution to this system is actually the region that's shaded in both times. So this is the solution right here. Okay? And that completes our problem.